I've always thought about what would it be like to document my entire experience with Pokemon as a whole. When I started this YouTube channel, I knew there would be a point where I'd want to record all my experiences, and that is exactly what I'm going to do today. Welcome, friends, to MyPokéStory, a podcast-like series where I will share my experiences with Pokemon as a whole, ranging from the origins of my journey all the way to the present day. This will be done in segments. Today, I'm just going to cover mainly the origins leading up to the era of Sword and Shield, meaning that I'm just going up to the Sun and Moon era in this first episode. What I'm going to be covering is origins of the cards, the games, anime, even older favorite Pokemons I have. And like this, it's something that you may notice in my videos that I'm not the best at explaining things as I normally splice everything. I'll do my best. I'm not the best at this, but bear with me. We'll do something awesome today. And every episode on the backdrop, you'll see some object. And today it's just a standard Pokeball. Because when you start a journey in one of the games, you only have standard Pokeballs to work with. What better way to start than with the most basic of meaningful items in your Pokemon journey? With that out of the way, let's begin with the Black and White series, which is really where it all started. Actually, hold on, back up. I'm going to go even further to, believe it or not, the cards in terms of what my first cards were. Believe it or not, my first Pokemon cards were bought from a Goodwill, of all places. Because it was from Goodwill, it was a lot of older cards. There were some basic energies from the old base set of whatever year it was. But one of the most fondest cards I remember to this day is a Heart and Gold Caterpie. Of all the Pokemon, I remember Caterpie the most. What is wrong with that? I don't know. Truly, I had a bunch of these old cards, like old EX cards, or like these shiny foil ones. I don't know where all that stuff is, but it's crazy to think about that, holy cow, this Caterpie is probably my oldest card out of everything I have. And I'm not counting the Japanese stuff I did. Like, this is some of the first cards that I received. And you may be thinking, well, you had the cards. Did you ever play the game? No, I did not. But what I did do is play this game with my brother. You may have seen him in one of my oldest videos. What we did is we took literally every single Pokemon type card we had and just duked it all out, ignoring the energy cost. We'd split the cards randomly, and it was all just a game of luck. No strategy. It was just whoever got the best stuff first. That some of the most tedious games I've ever played, but I will admit it's pretty fun. And if I did that now, given that I have all these cards in my inventory, and it would take so long to split everything up, oh man, it is scary to think about how long that could take. I'm thinking at least a week, because I remember these old memories with just duking everything out. It took about like 2 days. That's how stupid this felt. But it was fun. It was fun, I'll give it that. If I did it again, I'd have to limit how much I use now. It's crazy. I've definitely accumulated thousands upon thousands of cards. A good number of them of bulk that I should be turning into stores or finding a way to give them away. Safely, that is. And with that in mind, some of the more official card sets I started to get was Black and White stuff. Because like I mentioned before, everything really started with me in Generation 5, Black and White. It is one it is my most remembered region. I do remember seeing all the other regions beforehand, like Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh. They didn't stick. They didn't stick as long because I was just a kid. I wouldn't have known what I was doing until just Unova came in and somehow just took over what my primary interest was at this point of time in my childhood. And this in turn led into the games, where it all started in terms of the games. And the first Pokemon game official I've ever played was Pokemon Black for the DS. I believe it was back in, I want to say 2011. So over 10 years ago. My family was walking into this Costco, and I just spot this game, and I'm thinking, hey, that's that Pokemon stuff I've been starting to get to know. Picked it up, had a DS, started playing it. Good times. Very good times. And I'm pretty sure you're thinking, so this was the game where you picked your very first starter. What was it? Simple answer. It was the fire type. Once a fire type guy, always a fire type guy. Let me tell you. I picked Tepig. out of all the three Pokemon I could have chosen, which I had no knowledge about, I chose the fire Tepig. And that for a while, oh my word. That for a while became my favorite Pokemon of all time because, once again, didn't really have much knowledge of it. That later changed, however, when I started viewing the anime. And the anime, in this sense, was the first one that I did finish watching, like all episodes. I know I've seen a couple episodes prior, but I never watched the entire, 3 seasons. I think it was only the original series that had only 2 seasons, and every season after that it had 3 or 4. It really depends. I do think it depends. That's when I got introduced to the anime, started seeing, Ash and Pikachu, and I just got hooked. I remember seeing that first one on, I believe it was Cartoon Network. I want to say that's where it aired, mostly, and I would be getting up, I want to say it was Saturday mornings around 8 a.m. I don't know. It's 10 years ago. Bear with me. That was just some of the magic of my childhood right there. It's stuck with me ever since. Yes, that series has not been the most beloved out of all the series, but it's definitely one that sticks with me the most, and the one I would love to watch again, all 3 seasons, given the opportunity. Where did this go? Where did this go from? Well, did I play X and Y, the series after? No. Because for some reason that magic had gone away. I had a 3DS, but I just wasn't really interested at the time. I really lost that interest after a little while. And that came back when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. I picked up the Omega Ruby version because I'm going to say it's because fire type trainer. Once a fire type trainer, always a fire type trainer. So yeah, picked up that, got Groudon, all that jazz. And actually, that may have been the first Pokemon game that I finished all the way. See where I'm going with this? Yes, I did get Black and White. Did I ever finish it? No. And still haven't finished it to this day. I don't know if I still have it. But if I got it again, I'm certain maybe I could finish it. But it's not what I'm used to. Even though Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did do something like that. The biggest difference is that that 3DS game has Mega Evolution, where Black and White was just a standard experience in terms of the battle gameplay. Yes, they had the whole triple battle and rotation battle. That really hasn't seen the light of day ever since, which is sad. I would like to see that return. Maybe the new game Scarlet and Violet will have that. Who knows? Who knows? So where do we go from here? We get to Gen 7, Pokemon Sun and Moon. This is the series that I believe may have had the most experience, the most impact on my fandom, the fandom of this franchise. Starting again with the cards. This point is where I started to actually get into the cards. Where did that start? That started with the holiday set Dragon Majesty. I want to say that is a holiday set because I picked up this ETB, at least I think it was, and it had like this exclusive Naganadel GX card. I don't know, this was probably, holy cow, I think that was probably back in 2016. Oh man, it just feels nostalgic to even talk about it, my word. And I believe in this box, I want to say it was this box, that I pulled my first Rainbow Rare, which was a Salamence GX. I don't know how cards like that is viewed now, because they're more recent. Well, not as recent. Well, it is something that does take me back. I wonder if I still have those. I probably do, like especially the Salamence. How long has that? Oh man, that's probably been sleeved forever. Because I know for a long time I didn't even know what card sleeves were, and oh man, this is wild. It's just wild to go back and actually revisit all this. This is nuts. Okay, moving on though. We get to the games. Did I ever play Sun and Moon, the original? It kind of. I only played the demo. I never really bought the game. I don't know why. I passed up on the original Sun and Moon. And I believe at this point the anime was running. The Sun and Moon anime. Well, back up a little bit. I did view some of the XY stuff. I still was a fan of the anime. Always has been, ever since Black and White. I never finished that. Never finished it back then. I've seen all the episodes now, but back then, I just somehow lost interest, or I missed an episode, didn't know how to record. Then, okay, Sun and Moon, the anime. This is gonna be a turning point in my fandom for this franchise. This was a turning point, because here is where I met my true first favorite Pokemon, which was Litten. And why Litten of all of them? It's because, well, I am an absolute lover of cats. I love cats. I prefer them over dogs. I'm sorry, dog people. I love cats. I want one so bad, but I can't, because I'm at a point where it's probably not wise to get one. And in my childhood, I couldn't. We ended up getting a dog. I don't know why. I love my dog, but I'd rather would have a cat. But what other things about Litten just stood out to me? Well, first of all, it was a fire type, obviously. The fire type trainer in me still goes to this day. You may already notice, but I'm not going to get into that. And that's when I decided to get back into the games, because I thought I want to have this little kitty as my partner. But I didn't really get that opportunity until Ultra Sun and Moon came out, which I want to say was 2 years, or it was 1 year or 2 years after the original. I don't remember. But I got I got Ultra Sun because, again, fire type, what is wrong with me? And it's so hard to think of these thoughts sometimes. My goodness, because I'm just thinking of everything. I'm no professional, but I'm doing my best to explain. Let's see here. Oh, right. There was what was it called? The Pokemon Ami? I think it was Ami, right? You can correct me. It was a thing where you use your stylus to interact with your Pokemon. You can give them a pet on the head, give them some treats, and play little mini games. I think that part just stood out in a way, in the same way the anime did. Because what that did, that actually solidified my passion for this franchise for years to come. Did I lose sight of it? No. Did I have other favorite franchises at the time? I did, but I never turned my back on the franchise because it was something that I always paid attention to in some shape or form. And to this day, well, I don't think it's not going to be possible for me to actually shake that passion because I'm all in now. If some of you see my other videos, you may know what my goal is. You'll know I'm all in now. All in or nothing. I'm all or nothing. It's so crazy to think where this is all taken me now. I'm not going to get into it now. We'll cover that in the future episodes. So with Litten, there was a lot of passion poured into this cat because, again, cat person, I get hyper fixated on things. It's a problem. From I think 3 consecutive years, he was my absolute number one favorite Pokemon. And by the end of those 3 years, I did see all the other Pokemon that existed. I did pick up my other favorites, such as Umbreon, Snivy. Snivy because of the anime, to be honest. Pikachu, you can't really go wrong. What else? Oh, man. Maybe Absol? I think Absol was a favorite. That's crazy. What else? Well, oh, yeah. I did like his Litten's second evolution, Torracat. It is pretty cute, honestly. But, okay, back to the anime. I'm all over the place today. What's wrong with me? So, Litten had one of the more emotional stories in the anime. If you don't know, I'll give you my best explanation in a brief summary. For I think it was the first 20 episodes, first 20 or 21 episodes, Litten was just like a wild Pokemon, only seen a couple of times. And he was living with an elderly Stoutland, which Ash occasionally came across and helped out in a pinch. Moved twice or just once. I think it was just once, from that old mansion to under the bridge in Howley City. I can't really remember. But in that second episode, Litten was facing almost an existential crisis. No, that's definitely not it. It's facing what really happens in a normal life cycle. The fear of death, which it's a little dark, but Sun and Moon was an interesting anime, to say the least. But that feeling I felt for Litten when Stoutland, yes, passed away. It was pretty emotional, and I won't lie, I did shed a few tears that first time around. I was touched, man. Oh shoot, just thinking about it just makes me, oh man, and just thinking about it makes me want to tear up again. It was that impactful for me. I couldn't feel at the time because I didn't really experience anything like it up until recently, which I won't get into. But back then I had sympathy. Now I have empathy. And I understand how it feels to lose someone you love. It's hard to bear. It really is. And you can't help but just cry your heart out. It was a touching story, and I think that emotional impact really solidified all those years I just was hyper focused on Linton. And right now he is my second favorite, and as of right now will remain that way because, oh man, darn it, I'm actually tearing up. Oh, how embarrassing. So professional, am I right? But yeah, that story is something that will stick with me for quite some time. Up until this point, I've given a summary of all my years with Pokemon and my experience as a whole, from my origins to the Sun and Moon era. In the next episode, I will cover my experience with the Sword and Shield era and the start of my YouTube channel as a whole. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of My PokéStory. Take care.